news next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. The carnage in the EV industry continues. We had that Lion Electric, the electric bus manufacturer in Shanahan, they're suspending operations.
Yeah, just laid off hundreds of workers right before Christmas time and closed the 900K plant facility. I mean,
the big car makers are slashing jobs in Europe amid the EV mandates that are problematic because the consumer demand isn't there.
my friend who works for Kraft he texted me, said they sent my entire division to Mexico and laid off 175 of us stateside yesterday.
Yeah, Rivian, the electric truck manufacturer,
In Bloomington Normal.
loses $107,000 per sale.
What?
How? What, are they going to make that up on volume? $107,000 per truck. It was Wall Street Journal reported it this over the weekend, or the holiday weekend. But yet, they also reported to the Journal that some Republicans on the Hill not so interested to claw back the backdoor Green New Deal that the Biden administration posed. They want John Podesta, I guess, to continue distributing $150, $200 billion in funny money for projects in their states, even if it's all going to be very fleeting, pun intended. For more on where this all stands and where the Trump administration stands vis-a-vis these matters, please be joined for our weekly conversation with Steve Moore, economist and author of The Trump Economic Miracle with Art Laffer. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
So how aggressively?
Newsflash, by the way, Dan. The
yeah.
newsflash that actually Are you saying Republicans like to spend money too, just like Democrats do?
I know.
Oh, I'm shocked.
I know, but so how aggressively will Team Trump go after Republicans who are recalcitrant on things like these industrial policy gambits?
Well, what we're talking about here, just so people understand, is that Joe Biden wasn't completely stupid when they passed their. I don't know. They passed so many bills I can't keep track of them all. The Build Back Better bill and the so-called Inflation Reduction Act, and all these things. And a lot of them were just the Green New Deal, wrapped in pretty wrapping. And so what's happened is that they built these plants, all subsidized by government, by federal taxpayer money, in states like Ohio and states like Iowa and states like Michigan that went red this year. And now a lot of the congressmen there say, no, don't cut these subsidies. This is the problem. I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be easy to cut the budget, even though Republicans have the trifecta. They have the Republican House, the Republican Senate, and the Republican presidency. And I'm not optimistic that they're going to take out the hatchet and start cutting these programs. Now, I'm going to say this, though, about the EVs. I mean, what you said is so correct that, the worst thing that ever happened to the electric vehicle industry was Joe Biden pouring all these subsidies into all of these companies. They became addicted to the government money. The manufacturers, including Ford and GM, started building cars that the government wanted, not that drivers wanted, and they sat on the lots. People wouldn't buy them, and then they doubled down by not just subsidizing the purchase of them, but basically telling people you have to buy them. You have to. We're going to have these mandates that require you to buy these EVs, and there was a revolt. And so I guess what I'm saying is I do think, Dan and Amy, that the best thing that ever happened to the EV industry is getting Biden out of the White House, get rid of all the subsidies, and if these cars are the cars of the future, and they may well be, let the market work. What a concept.
Well, that'll be a test for Elon Musk and Doge, won't it? Because Elon Musk is such a beneficiary. So I hear, the sort of knee jerk Elon Musk defenders are always, well, he said he would walk away from subsidies. No, 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 no. You're the Doge guy. Then you need to provide, and you're Tesla. You need to provide leadership on the issue. Where will we get leadership from Elon Musk on the issue?
Well, I have not met Elon Musk. I know Vivek very well. I mean, I've shaken Elon Musk's hand, but I've never really had a conversation with him.
And you're never going to wash that hand again.
But look, I do think that he is talking a lot of common sense. His point about the fact that he, cut Twitter expenses by 80%. Did you know he laid off 80% of the Twitter staff? And he said, I made it more efficient, more profitable. So I think this guy is the perfect job for the job of trying to hunt down this waste. I think when he says $2 trillion, that's a pretty high level, even for someone like myself. But I think hundreds of billions of dollars, and most Americans wouldn't even know these programs were missing. When you have 90% of federal workers who aren't even showing up on the job, you got a problem.
Yes, but okay, but you avoided the fundamental question here, which is
dodged your question.
Yes, you did, and I'll just say this, and you don't have to respond, but I'll just say this: you can't. I mean, it's sort of my fault. You can't drain the swamp if you keep the money, and so if Elon Musk continues to enjoy those subsidies, then we're not really draining the swamp.
Well, no comment.
Okay, fair enough. I got another question for you. Sort of related.
I'm not going to get on the wrong side of Elon Musk.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about myself.
And I want a job from him.
Yeah, fine. Maybe I'll suspend my Twitter account or something. X account, I should say. The other 11 state attorneys general, led by Texas AG Ken Paxton, filed an antitrust suit against BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, alleging these huge asset managers we've talked about before are using their combined market power to illicitly drive energy prices higher by doing things because they have substantial holdings in American energy companies, by doing things like artificially suppressing the supply of coal. What do you, I know we're free market guys. We're a little bit reticent to lean on antitrust law. But what about this?
Well, I mean, I'm laughing because, look, if you're concerned about, suppressing the market for the supply of coal, gee, I wonder who's done that. Let me think. Who's been in the White House for 4 years?
Well, right.
A war on coal, and now you want to talk about hypocrisy. Now the people who destroyed the coal industry are now saying, "Oh, these dirty companies like Blackstone and others are artificially reducing the supply of this." Look, I'm a big fan of coal. I think we have the cleanest coal in the world. I don't think there's any doubt about that. It should be part of the energy mix. And but this one thing I do worry about is we have a lot of Republicans who believe in this 19th century idea of antitrust law.
Yes.
And I'm a free market guy. I mean, let the market work, let competition work. It's the best way to drive down prices. I mean, how about the fact that the federal government right now is telling Google they have to sell Chrome. Now, wait a minute. They spent over $10 billion of their investors' money building Chrome, and I know people have various opinions about Google, but how in the world should the government, after they spent $10 billion investing in this, the government say, "Oh, sorry, you have to sell that"? And by the way, the last time I checked, Amy, and the last time I did a Google search, you know how much they charged me?
How much?
Zero.
Zero.
So they give this damn thing away for free, and somehow the government's coming after them for antitrust because they're somehow gouging consumers, even though they give those stuff away for free. Yeah, explain that one to me, Amy.
Well, this is where we show ourselves to be principled people, because I find Larry Page and Sergey Brin completely obnoxious and generally distasteful. But absolutely, I agree with you. And they're getting what they richly deserve by aligning with big government. But
true.
But it is the wrong policy. That shouldn't be happening.
I got to tell you guys, I've had some good meetings with people at Google. I think they're starting to realize, they're the ones who are trying to sue us. People, free marketeers like Dan, you and me and Amy, we're the ones who are actually defending them. Why do we give money to the Democrats and then they, it's like selling rope to the hangman. So I think that these tech companies are starting to realize, no, it's the Democrats who are the ones who are trying to destroy you, not us. We believe in the free market, the free enterprise system.
Maybe. I'm skeptical.
You're skeptical.
Yeah, well, I'm skeptical of them in particular, but yeah. I don't know. It's Zuckerberg, same thing. I just don't buy them. I think they're amoral and transactional, so I don't believe it. And their instinct is to lean left. I mean, did Bill Gates getting hammered by the D.O.G.E. breaking up Microsoft, did that change his politics? No, not really. Did it? No.
Gosh, you're even more cynical than I am, Dan. That's hard to believe.
Well,
he's a realist.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right.
You should know that by now.
But I'm excited about this. I'm sure you are too. The UN, because anytime we talk about the UN has enlisted the International Court of Justice to take up a case that will provide what the countries of the world are required to do to combat climate change. So you've got the UN and the International Court of Justice coming together to tell countries like America what we have to do to curb climate change. How do you think the Trump administration will respond to that? Talk about a softball.
Yeah, what they're saying to America is we have to deindustrialize. We have to get poor really quickly so that
degrowth.
We can do our part. Yeah, and so no driving cars, no eating meat, beef anymore. None of that's kind of luxury. And look, they just ended the what was it, COP? I love they call it COP 29 or something like that. They've had almost 30 of these international conferences. Nothing ever happens. They spend millions of dollars. Al Gore pontificates about how much he cares about the planet. And the good thing is that the United States was hardly even represented at this last one. I guarantee you that we will pull the United States out of the anti-America Paris Climate Accord. And one of the things that Trump believes, and I'm totally with him on this, is in American sovereignty. Never, never, never should we have organizations like the UN or the World Court or these other ones telling America what to do. That's unconstitutional. They have no business, they don't have lawmaking authority in the United States. And so Trump is very, very skeptical of the United Nations, the World Bank, the climate accord stuff, because, and by the way, we're the country, all they do at these climate, do you know Mark Morano, by the way, Dan? He runs a website called Climate Depot. It's fantastic.
Yes, we've had him on.
And he was there. He was there for that 2-week-long, climate change conference. And he said, all they do is crap on the United States. And yet the United States, we've reduced our carbon emissions more than any other country. And yet we're the villain.
Stephen Moore, economist, author of The Trump Economic Miracle and the Plan to Unleash Prosperity Again, co-authored with Art Laffer. Steve, thanks as always.
Okay, guys. Have a great week. Take care.
Thanks. You too, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
You stink.
I think you're going to have a good Christmas, all right?
Smell like beef and cheese. You don't smell like Santa.
On AM 560. The Answer.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is